Good afternoon. It is 2:49 p.m. here on a Friday. It is the 29th of November for me. I am filming this a little bit earlier than usual because on the weekends I don't tend to film videos, and so this is the last weekday I have before the first of the month, before the 1st of December specifically. So here I am. Just a tiny bit of context to explain that. But I've got the calendar printed, and if you've been here before, you know the drill, you know the routine, but I'm going to start with planning out again, this part's not really planned because Patreon content has its own kind of deadlines. They are flexible, give or take a few days, but I'm going to start with just scheduling in the kind of non-negotiables Patreon deadlines. And the last calendar I did, I know I don't review the previous month very much. I would like to. It would just extend the video for too long. That's literally the only reason why I don't review past things, because I think I could spend a whole extra 30 minutes just reviewing what went well in the past. So I did want to just explain that it is good to review what you did in the past month in order to know what to change or do differently in the next month. But in the last plan with me, I did try writing my YouTube videos on the calendar, and it worked for the first two videos. It did work, but the problem was because I changed it too often and I needed that flexibility a little bit to change it, because when you're planning for the month ahead, not everything is set in stone. It's not super concrete, so I needed a little bit more flexibility around that. And plus I couldn't, again, I'm not taking this off the wall very easily, so I won't continue that. I don't think that works for me, and I think I just want to stick with just the main Patreon deadlines and other events. But what I did do instead was move it to this memo pad that I have lying around. Again, you can download any month calendar, but I like this one because it's bigger than this, but because I'm trying to use up this paper, I am just scribbling on it. So if I don't end up posting the video, I can just move it to another day, and I highlight it when the video is posted. And so as you can see here, even this changed. So I didn't end up posting the planner setup until Thursday. So I'm going to move this to here. And again, the reason why I like this is because it's not pretty. I can cross it out. I can be super rough with it. December plan with me. Again, I'm filming it here, but I'm going to post it on Sunday. And that might be it for this week. So this is working well for me, and I don't feel bad about using this as well because, again, if you've been here for a while, you know that I like to print on the back. And that's actually what I've been doing for any photos that I print in my journal. So this memo pad works really well. It's a really old one I got from Kikki.K, which is not really a store anymore. They don't have any that I know of physical shop fronts, but I have so many of these that this is the perfect way to use it up. Otherwise I would just print out something big enough A4 that I can just scribble on, but this is working really well for me. So again, this month I'm not writing any video content or social media on this calendar. I'm going to keep it separate. This is just my social media. I say social media, but it's really just YouTube, but I am planning to incorporate Instagram, and I think I will use a different color highlighter for Instagram because it helps me use up highlighters as well. But I just wanted to explain that. But let's get into the month plan. I have a month calendar in front of me on Canva, and so I just did a quick pre-plan to save you time, to save me time, and to just kind of see how it all looks and rearrange if I need to. And for the goals on the side, I have also prepared that in here, and I have written it here in my December plan. So I'm going to write this on the side of the calendar, and that's what I'm going to do now. So time-lapse time, and time to fill this out. Okay, so I think want to spend some time talking about my December goals because they are lofty. They are ambitious and I'm not feeling good about it only because I know myself so well and I feel like there's just no way I can do all of this. But again, the point is to not follow your plan perfectly. This is for all my perfectionists out there. It's okay that plans will change. The point is so that you have a guide, you have a starting point, and you have a general direction. It's just to help you stay on track, not an excuse to beat yourself up when you don't achieve all of the things that you said you wanted to do. Just a quick reminder for that, because I know we can be way too tough on ourselves. But the very first thing, which I penciled in here, but I wrote here shop update. I penciled it in because I'm not 100% sure if I can achieve everything by this date, which happens to be next Friday. I am not creating a bunch of new products for the shop update, so it's not as difficult as like past shop updates. I already have stock for a lot of it because it's from the last market that I did. I think this is just a bit of self-doubt, but I am dedicating this entire week to kind of preparing for it. And it's just a lot of mental preparation. I just feel like I'm not ready. And I feel, again, the self-doubt that always creeps up when you do a shop update, but I am going to do my best to get the early access shop update out next Friday and then the public shop update out on the 13th of December. But on top of that, I need to send out Patreon postcards. So I make postcards, like I design an exclusive postcard, very simple, usually just Herbie, and a Patreon sticker to send out at the end of every year as a very small thank you gift to my patrons for being pledged to me for a certain month. It's usually been a 3-month threshold. I have since increased that to 6 months. So I'll give you a sneak peek of the sticker. It's just Herbie, kind of Totoro inspired with his leaf umbrella, but he's standing in a puddle of water, of course, and there's a tiny little lady beetle. So anyway, that's the exclusive sticker design for this year. But what I am planning on doing, if you don't meet the 6-month threshold to get the postcard and the sticker for free, and I send out a little message to people as well, like I write it on the back, I think I will offer that as an option to purchase so that, you don't have to be subscribed to me, like pledged to my Patreon for 6 months if you don't want to, and you can just purchase it outright. But that will still only be available for patrons because I think it makes sense. It's a Patreon reward. So you can just join for the 1 month and then just purchase that and then leave. That's totally fine as well. I don't fully have the details of that, but I'm just giving you a little heads up on that in case you were interested in it. It's just a little thank you gift I like putting together for my patrons at the end of each year, and it's become kind of like a ritual now that we do every single year. So I need to write on the postcards. I got them outsourced for the very first time this year. I usually print on it, like print the postcards myself and then handwrite it all. Like I used to have to cut the paper and print it out and all that. I decided to be kind to myself and outsource them so that it saves me the headache of any printing issues. I did make the stickers myself though, which is totally fine. The stickers are all ready to be sent out, but the postcards are on its way. So I need to gather everyone's information, which I'm going to do this week, send out the form, collect all that, and then send it out sometime in this week in case anyone places an order, and I can include the postcard in that order. The next goal is to wrap up 2024 journals. It's a very fun, casual goal. I just want to make sure that I'm going into 2025 with a fresh start. So that means catching up on any backlogging, making sure that I am wrapping up as many journals as I can so that I'm not bringing any of that into 2025. Of course, there's some things that, will always need some catching up, but I will do my best to wrap up as much as I can before the new year, only because it's an arbitrary goal for me that I like having that fresh start of the new year. So don't panic if you have a lot to backlog. That's just my personal goal. The next one is IG routine, which for me means once a week because there was a 2-month period in October and November where I didn't post. So I didn't post at all. And I posted for the first time a few days ago, and that's the first time I've posted in 2 months. So I would like to get back into a routine of just posting once a week at the very minimum. I do feel like I have a weird, I'm not going to go into that. I just have a weird relationship with Instagram, but I would like to show up a little bit. So that's my goal for December, to post once a week on Instagram, which sounds completely reasonable, even for me, and declutter studio. So when I say I have lofty goals, this is probably one of them. I know I've been promising a studio tour for several months now, if not an entire year, if not years. But the reason I haven't is because I'm not super happy with the layout of my studio, and that's not my perfectionism talking. I know it will be very difficult to get to a point where I love everything, but just things are really messy. There's things that I haven't gotten around to doing. I am naturally a very cluttered person and I don't have a place for things. So by Declutter Studio, part of that is finding a place for everything. I've recently kind of reorganized the things on the right side of my desk, and that has helped a lot. That's been great. And I want to apply that same kind of process, that same ethos to the rest of my studio. So it's been a long time coming, but again, December is meant to be a reset month for me. Very much a life admin, kind of relaxing month. It doesn't seem like it, I know, but I want to be able to have the time and space to tackle these bigger goals that I never seem to have the time for, which is to clutter my studio. So it's a very big open-ended goal, but if I can make some steps towards it, I will count that as a win. The next thing is 2025 Patreon changes. That is also a big overarching goal. That's not a very specific one-tick goal because I have to do a bunch of things to prepare for that. But this is just to remind me I have things to work towards that. I need to create a public video talking about what are the changes for 2025. Nothing too major, but there's still, some random tweaks to be done. The next thing is a zine brief and form. I've mentioned this very, very briefly, but I am working on a zine centered around self-care and messages to your younger self. I would love submissions from all around the world if this is a theme that really resonates with you. I want to collect people's handwritten notes, letters to themselves, poems, pictures, anything. And it's a big, scary goal of mine. And there are a few people waiting for me on this because I did have an interactive gallery that it was back in April, I think. And so since then, I have not made much progress on it. I think because it's the imposter syndrome kicking in and I'm really scared. I know it's a really important project and the big goals always scare us, but I know I will be so upset with myself if I don't make progress on it before the end of the year, because again, it's been since April. So this is a really important one for me. And the next one is happy mail prep. So sneak peek of a new thing I'm introducing next year, but it's not a Patreon tier just because of the logistics of it. I don't want it to be a recurring membership. I want it to be kind of a one-off subscription purchase. I just said subscription. It's not a subscription. I wanted it to be a one-off purchase. So it'll be on my website and I will be offering the physical sticker sheets of my Patreon stickers. And I've had 1 or 2 people request this, which was enough to intrigue me into considering it as an option. And the thought of it really excites me. So I'm excited and also petrified to do that. But again, these are big goals for me for December, for what is meant to be a reset month for me. So I am okay with not making, there are some non-negotiables. I will show you my non-negotiables. Shop update. Yes. Patreon postcards. Yes. The world's not going to end if I don't backlog all my journals. That's fine. The world's not going to end if I don't post on Instagram. Declutter Studio, the world's not going to end. It's fine. 2025 Patreon changes is kind of a non-negotiable. Zine brief, yes, a non-negotiable to me. And happy mail prep, yes. So it's just the first 2 and the last 3. And knowing that, you give yourself a little bit of grace because you never know what comes up in life. But those are my goals for December. The next thing we're going to do, I don't know why it's felt like it's been much longer than a month, but I feel like I'm out of whack. I don't know the routine. I believe I then go into my weekly. So I want to show you, again, just a really quick review. We're just going very lightly into the review. Last month's receipt accordion. I don't know what to call this, but if you've watched these Plan With Me's before, this is how I plan my week. I take a receipt and I fold it down into the number of weeks for the month. Technically, there are 5, 6 weeks because this rolls over from the bottom, but I'm counting the major weeks because this first, does this make sense? The 1st of December kind of falls into the last week of November. So I'm just counting the major weeks of December. And so I have 4 weeks already pre-folded out, but yellow highlights are the things I did do. And if it is crossed out, let me focus on this. If the task is crossed out, it means I didn't get it done, or if it has an arrow, I've migrated it. The system is not necessary. This is just for me to be able to track it. Again, I'm about to scrunch this up and throw it in the bin afterwards. So it really doesn't matter how pretty it looks. Just a quick, I guess, explanation about my receipt thing. Well, not explanation. Let's do a quick reminder. I'm using a receipt because it's scrap paper. I have a receipt stash because I'm a hoarder, a paper hoarder, and I don't mean that in a good way. And I'm looking for a quick and easy way to plan without being too attached to how it looks. Again, recovering perfectionist. So the receipt method works really well for me because it's just so messy and so satisfying to be able to cross things out. And because things change all the time, it allows me to make changes without feeling like I'm ruining a pretty planner or I'm ruining a pretty page. So that is a quick disclaimer on why this method works so well for me and why it might work well for you. But as you can see, I made pretty good progress with it. I'm still unsure whether or not I want to, I think I do, like write down if I need to film a video or edit a video. It makes sense. I think I'm just going to run out of space. So I did it here, but I don't think I did it here as much. I mean, I wrote film December Plan With Me. I think I will. I'm always playing it by ear, so I have no idea. But that is what I did. A few things got pushed over. I didn't finish the sticker club until this week, even though I planned it for that week, for example. Postcard form again, same thing. So yeah, you want it to have space for you to change your mind. You're not completely tied to your plan. It's not a disaster if you can't stick to it unless it's a non-negotiable. But yeah, all in all, I think it went pretty well. And yeah, now we're going to do the week plan for December. So I'm going to put this off to the side. And I'm going to be using a pen. I'm trying to use up. This is not my regular pen. I normally use a Muji pen in 0.7. It's just in black. This refill is about to die, but this is the pen that I normally use. But I'm on a use up journey with my pens and paper scraps, so this is where we are. Okay, quick recap for the weekly plan in case you are new here. I take these goals and also the tasks that I've written on here and then break them down into specific weeks so that it's not just a floating general month goal. I've given it a specific deadline. And from there we will break it down into the days, but for now we're just going to break it down into a specific week because it gives us a better idea of if it's a logical or reasonable goal list. Basically, can I actually fit it in reasonably within the time that I have? So we're going with week of December 2nd. I really don't need to write week of. I feel like it's kind of obvious, right? I'm still going to write it. Week of December 9th, week of December 16th, week of December 23. Okay, shop update needs to go here. So early access shop update, and then public one will be the week after. I feel like I hold this pen really weird. Like I wrote shop as well. Shop update. I kind of hold it upright because of the nib, like the flat nib. It's weird. Anyway, shop update, Patreon postcards. I need to technically I want to send it out by the second week. Let's do first week because I need to write them. They are arriving next week. Patreon postcard. And it does depend on when people send me their responses. I think I gave them a month last time, and that was too long and I had to follow up on too many people. So I'm going to give them like a week and a half. Wrap up 2024 journals. That's kind of an ongoing one. That one's okay. IG routine. Let me write IG post to keep it generic on every single week, because that is the goal, to post at least once that week. Next is Declutter Studio. I guess again I can write that every week to make sure I'm chipping away at it. Declutter Studio. I might zoom you in a little bit more. $2025 Patreon changes. That will be kind of in the last week. Patreon video. I wouldn't say in the last 2 weeks. Let's do it in the very last week, 2025. Patreon changes, and then do the video in the second last week. Patreon video. Next thing is a zine brief and form. I probably can't work on it until after the early access shop update. So I want to say the earliest is maybe the second week, likely the third week. So I'm going to do the second week because I can always move it down. But zine brief and form. And then the last thing is Happy Mail prep. I think again that can be last week. I am wary of overloading the last week because that is Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's-ish approaching. So there's probably a bunch of family things there that I don't want to not take into account in case I get too busy and overwhelmed. But that's the goals broken down into the week, and I'm just thinking of the videos. So in the first week, I do have a business check-in. Just to remind myself, I'll write it here, business check-in. And then third week, I have a 2025 call with my workshop patrons. Potentially, we haven't scheduled that in yet, actually. Workshop call. And then I have a coaching call. Oh, cannot write. Wallpaper. January wallpaper. That's a Patreon reward. I need to do the D-Diary episode in the first week. DDEP. And the third week. DDEP. Also, I need to finish the sticker club in this week. I would like to give myself more time though. I always struggle a little bit with sticker club, so I want to also say work on sticker club. At least make a tiny start on it in the week before that. So for videos, I've got it open in front of me again on Canva. I might not write the videos now because I already have them on my month calendar separately, so I might go off this rather than this and then write it in on the week. So I think that's actually okay. That might be it, which looks a lot better than this, which was very overloaded. But again, I had video content there, but I'm happy with this. So that's the weekly plan. That gives me a pretty good idea of the priorities for each of the weeks. So early access, shop update, postcard, some Patreon stuff, shop update, work on the zine, work on the sticker club, and then Patreon changes, the main Patreon video and some other Patreon things. And then the very last week will be Patreon things again, but preparing for the new year, nothing too overloaded. But that looks good. That makes me feel a lot better. I feel less panicked looking at this versus this because it feels like a good breakdown. It feels like a very reasonable list. So what we're going to do now is, I think I need to zoom back out, is do a breakdown into the days. And normally, actually, I don't know what I do normally. Do I write it in my Moleskine usually? Is that what I did last time? I chose some tasks. I cannot remember. I don't know what I did in the last video, but what I'm going to do in this video, because I've actually started my 2025 planner because it actually starts in December of this year. So I just dropped a bunch of papers. I've been in this planner because it starts in the first year. I'm already making a mess in it. And so I've been using two at the same time to just kind of use up this planner as well. But I have been in here, and this is what my first week looks like. But what I'm going to do, I think, is plan out the first week with you. I kind of already have, but I guess we can, should I do the second week then? No, let's do this week, even though I've already started. So I write the videos or like Instagram posts at the top. I do need to rearrange it because I've changed some things. I am potentially going to try doing a Vlogmas kind of series, but not every single day. I don't think I can commit to every single day. I prefer to ease into something, so I'm going to do it every couple of days, and it's going to be really casual, behind the scenes, kind of chatty, looks into like my days. It'll be shorter than my usual videos. I think it'll be around 10 minutes, but that's something I am potentially trying for December, which I think will be a lot of fun. It's going to be super casual compared to my studio vlogs. And yeah, I just want to like chat and show you some behind the scenes stuff. So because I am doing the plan with me here, I don't think I'm going to post the travel journal on this date. I think I'm going to leave it as just 2 videos this week. Actually, I was planning on moving the December plan with me to Saturday, because I guess it doesn't really matter if it comes out the day before. So instead of coming out on the first day of the month, it'll just come out on the last day of the month for December plan with me. And yeah, so those will be the 2 videos for the week. And then looking at my Canva plan, I think I was going to move the Vlogmas to a Wednesday, have that be my first video of the week, Vlogmas 1, and then move this to the Friday. I always need at least a day or 2 in between because I post it early access for my patrons. So how I printed photos in Japan. And initially I had the Instagram post here. I think that's too much pressure for me on a Monday, the first day of the week. So I'm going to make that on the Tuesday. And I think I'm just going to post about my latest video. I mean, at this point, my latest video, which is the 2025 planner setup. So that's me addressing the Instagram post and the Vlogmas first video and how I printed photos in Japan, and then maybe Vlogmas 2. Again, these are going to be super short and just snippets of my day. So those are the 3 videos for YouTube, and then my Instagram post. Early access shop update, I've already penciled in here, is on the Friday the 6th, which I already wrote in. It's penciled, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be that date, which means the actual shop update will be on the 13th, which I can pencil in with you. Shop update. And then Patreon postcard. So I am planning to post the form today. I didn't write it, but I should. Where's my pen? I'm going between so many different pens, trying to use them up. Postcard form. I should have posted it yesterday, actually, but that's how it is sometimes. So postcard form today, and then I will close it by Friday, I think. Again, tentatively, because it depends on if people fill out the form or not, which they don't always do. So I think close postcard form. And then if people still haven't submitted it, I can follow up on these 2 days, but I think I might do a reminder, postcard form reminder. And then that gives me time, because then I want to send it out I wrote on the 10th, just an arbitrary date, but I'm just thinking now, maybe the 19th to be safe. I just need to drop it off. Oh, no, I need to buy stamps. So it has to be a Saturday. Our post office is closed on Sundays. Send out postcards so I can go in store, get the stamps. Gives stragglers another week just in case, but ideally I want to write all the postcards on a certain day. Let me choose Tuesday. Write and pack postcards. So again, if you can see, this one task, Patreon postcard, ended up being like 4 different to-dos, because it's a bigger task broken down into small. So as much as you can, take your task and break it down into the smaller subtasks. I guess so it just becomes one finite task that you can easily tick off. It's just one action. It's not like one task that needs 4 things completed in order for you to cross it off. I think that's the key to getting things done. You really need to break it down and give it a specific date. So Patreon postcard, I'm pretty happy with that. IG post, yes, we already scheduled that. Declutter studio. I think the weekends are probably the best. I try not to work as much as I normally do on the weekends, or if I do work, it's not the same hours, not to the same extent. I definitely give myself a little bit more breathing room to update my journals, like backlog in them, just spend some time doing that. So I think on Sunday will be Declutter Studio. And I think as part of I didn't write it down here, but as part of my wrap up 2024 journals, I know I need to update my life archives. So I'm going to write on the Saturday, backlog, life archives. Again, I love doing it in pencil, even though it's super annoying to erase it and deal with all the shavings. It's just a lovely way to plan it out in your planner, to see it all and just move it around as needed, because it does stress me a little bit out to cross it out when, it doesn't get done. This is fine. This happens in the day-to-day, but if I plan too early and need to move things around, that does get a little bit frustrating for me. And then the last task, let's fold it over so I don't get distracted. The last task, business check-in. Yes, I already have that here on the Friday, and Dear Diary episode. Oh, yes. Okay, so record. I'll just do that in pen. I know for a fact I need to do that, because it's a Patreon task. But record DD ep and edit and post DD ep. Nice. And on this side here, my week kind of overview plan is where I choose 4 main priorities. Ooh, I can take this off. Finish sticker club. I did. I'm going to post the Patreon form today, so I can tick that off, and then prep for shop update. Hopefully I can make some progress on the weekend so I can tick that off. But I just choose 4 main priorities for the week, which, probably should come from this receipt, and write that in there. So prep for shop update is one of them, because early access shop update is, did I write it in? Yes, is there. Patreon postcard. Yes, maybe. That is a big priority because I need to collect everyone's details and follow up on people. Business check-in, yes. DD app, those are non-negotiables. Okay, so I think I'll write, what do I write? Collect postcard details. I think that's kind of it. I will leave that for now. I might need to break down the prep for shop update into, again, more specific tasks like product listings, product photos, but for now, I think I'm going to leave those two. There's nothing wrong with less. That's a reminder to myself. You don't have to fill up the space if you don't have anything pressing to fill it up with. So I'm going to leave that. And that's pretty much it. That's how I break it down. I know this is technically a week view. In my head, this is a daily plan because I'm taking these week tasks that are just, generically assigned to the week, and then I'm assigning them a specific day. So I am giving it a day deadline. I don't think we need to do anything in the month. I just want to check if this is, I tend to write the same thing multiple times. My goals for the month were declutter studio, declutter house. I guess that's just a generic prep for the new year. Business check-in, yes. Workshop call. I think I'll move it to that. I didn't even write shop update because I was nervous, but I will go off this. And again, I don't want to be making too many mistakes in here. So when I get around to it, I want to have a reference one and then a final one. So I can refer back to this, but this is kind of the messier wall calendar one, if that makes sense. But that is it, I think, for the weekly, the monthly, weekly, and the daily. So now we can go into the overview planner and do the monthly stats and the monthly kind of overview. Okay. Last check. That looks pretty good. I'll be good. I will break down the shop update tasks because what is prep for shop update? I should really be breaking it down in here. So if I want to publish the early access shop update, I need to do the post. Early access. Patreon post. I need to post it on Patreon. I need to finish the listings, so I will finish listings here. I think I'll take the product photos on the Tuesday to give myself time to, I was about to write take product photos to give myself time to edit and upload, but edit product photos, and of course I need to edit Vlogmas. A bug just flew in my face. Oh my goodness. Edit Vlogmas, early access for the Vlogmas, and then post video. So this is a big day. So this is okay because if I can't finish editing the product photos on that day, I can edit product photos here. I can finish it off here. I will need to film this, actually. There's a part of it I think I need to film, so I might film it here. Film, I don't know what to call it. Film photos video, Japan photos video. And then edit and post in the same day. Ooh, this week is getting busier because I ignored some tasks. Edit video, early access. But that was silly of me to not break the shop update down because I knew there was a lot involved. Okay, I think that's good. Take the product photos, edit it, do the listings, and the actual shop update. Ooh, that means this weekend is going to be a little bit busy. Sticker club. I'm just doing a real-time plan with me now for this weekend, but sticker club, I think I really need to do it today. Let's be real. Shop update. Prep once I get the calendar and the postcard form out. And I also need to do it tomorrow because if I'm supposed to be taking photos on the Tuesday, that really doesn't give me much time. Again, most products I already have, but I need to step it up a bit because I have been putting it off. Okay. That's better. That's probably a more realistic view of my week. I will add prep for business check-in here because I do need to always come prepared with some notes. But I think that's it. Okay, let's move on from that and then let's do the monthly overview planner. So if you missed my last video, I did create a 2025 version of this and cut it down, and it now sits in my TN, which is looking great. So this is the 2024 one, but this is the last month that we're going to be using it, which is really exciting. So this is another example of something I want to wrap up in 2024 because I want to fill this out. I need to print out photos for it and 2024 highlights as well in pictures. And also fill out all of these, oh, it's going to take so long. Print out all of these photos. If I'm super lazy, I can just print out a page and just stick in the whole page, but I will print out the individual book covers to fill it up because I stopped filling it out. And then the highlights, I might go back and do this. I'm not 100% sure, but where we're at right now is here. But let's do monthly stats first, I think. Again, it's the 29th. Not technically the last day of the month. I mean, not even technically, it's not the last day of the month. So I'm going to do it in pencil and then fill this out properly myself off camera when it is the last day of the month. But as of today on Instagram, I have 9345, which is a loss of 15. I'm looking at my Notion right now because I've already got it ready there. And posts, I posted once. No surprise that I'm losing when I'm not posting. Again, not fast, don't really care. YouTube is my priority. So November YouTube, as of right now, I have 7803. Very lucky to have a big month. Very big growth, very unusual growth. It's my biggest month. And I think it usually is because of the Tetrakaigi. So hello, if you're new and you came here from the Tetrakaigi and you're watching, but you would be part of this number. And I posted, I'm not sure. I posted quite a lot this month actually because I had so much Japan content that was time sensitive and I really wanted to get it out. I didn't want to be editing. Well, I'm on 05 right now. Let's change that to 5. So yeah, I really pushed myself to put videos out 3 times a week this month, give or take, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. Not my usual pace because I don't think that's super sustainable right now. But there is more than usual. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I posted 8 videos and then this video is going out tomorrow. So that'll be 9. Again, it was a lot of content from Japan, my trip, so I'm not always going to be posting 9 videos a month. And then Patreon, I have 67, which is a change of 2, which is my highest month this year, which is very exciting, which means I definitely reached my average goal of 60 patrons. So I think I'm just going to tick it just to just get that dopamine hit. Let's tick it if I can find my pen. Here it is. Yay. I'm definitely not going to get to 10 pull-ups. I was at 1.5. Then I got really sick and then didn't work out my arms for ages and then traveled and then I am barely at 1 again. So I'm working my way back up to 1, but that's a no. This is a yes. I really need to leave this. No, we're not doing that now. I'm leaving that for the 2024 plan. Let's get into November review and December plan. Currently enjoying in November. I was thinking about this. I can't remember the early month of November, but right now a song that I'm really playing on repeat is Monster by All Time Low. It's a song from 2020, but I only kind of just discovered it recently. So I think I'm gonna write Monster because it's a song I've been replaying a lot lately. So yeah, Monsters. Did I say Monster? Yeah, Monsters by All Time Low. It is featuring Black Bear, but I don't really love that verse, so I'm not going to include it. And a book, I guess. Oh yeah. So I'm currently reading the Devoured Worlds series, a book series. It's so good. It is so good. I just finished book 2. It's a trilogy. I just finished book 2 like an hour ago, and it's so good. Book 1 and 2. Book 1 and 2 of Devoured Worlds trilogy by Megan E. O. She's got a long name. Yeah, it's a great series. It's if you enjoy sci-fi and political drama, and all, I personally don't really like the politics of it, but there's a mystery they're unraveling, and it's just great. It's a fun time. Book 2 was a solid 4. Book 1 was a 3.75. I can't wait to finish book 3 in December, but struggling with... Wait, is there anything else I'm enjoying? I did get a fountain pen recently, a very cheap one, but I don't know if I would classify that as a currently enjoying or just kind of like a semi-win / highlight, which is what I might put here. I did make that change in my 2025 overview planner, so I'm just going to write it here. Wins / highlights. Fountain pen. I don't know what else to write. I think I was back in my typewriter in November as well. Let me actually check my typewriter planner, my typewriter journal, just to be safe. 20th of November, 17th, 15th. Yes, 15th of November. So, using typewriter again. I used up, like I finished backlogging a journal that was like, I had such a love-hate, no, I just had a hate relationship with it. So I finished weekly highlights journal. It just wasn't for me. So that was a huge highlight. And I'll leave it there. Struggled with Instagram. But I did get back. Wait, I'll write here, posted to IG after 2-month hiatus. Big win was my book promo book shoot with a client. It turned out great. I wrapped it up. Everything was great. That was a big highlight for me. Struggling with Instagram, struggling with, I guess, messy studio. The same, the usual. Every month, it's the same. Oh no, I forgot to record with my microphone. Of course. Okay, so excuse the crappy audio for the past 30 minutes, but we're switching back to the microphone. Priorities for December. Let me highlight that. I'm using my mild liner. The grey one, I think there's only... Why can't I find it? I'm using this mild liner grey colour to do it. I believe they only have the one grey. Oops. That's meant to be wins / highlights. I'm changing this because what is going on here? Oh, that's an L. Because I never filled out the to-do list, so it wasn't working. So I'm just repurposing it to be a wins / highlights, which is much easier for me to fill out. Priorities. Shop update. Patreon postcard. It was technically a priority for November because I needed to design it and kind of prepare for it, which I've done. That's all pretty much done, but I need to write it and send it out. So it's still the priority for December. And the last non-negotiable, I mean, there were a few more, but the very last one was, I think, the zine. That takes precedence over the rest. Zine, brief, plus form. Looking forward to, I want to say trying Vlogmas, because I don't know how I will feel about it, but part of me thinks it'll be fun. Again, I'm getting rid of this looking forward to because I found it kind of weird to fill out every time. It was just this arbitrary, like, I don't know. It's fun, but I didn't find it very needed, necessary. Trying Vlogmas, and I think that is it. I think wrapping up 2024, which feels really obvious, but wrapping up 2024 journals. And then this part is for me to fill out at the end of the month or the beginning of next month. So that brings us to the end. That is it. That's the very last month in this planner. Again, there's some blank things. I need to backlog this. I need to fill that out. But apart from that, I will do a 2024 review of this, wrap things up in here, show you the photos that I print out for the highlights and for my favorite new products, and then we will set up the 2025 overview planner with my vision board, my letter to self, my goals and all that. So that will be in a video coming out next month, sometime next month. I think I might have put it here or here somewhere one of these days, but that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed that, but most of all, I hope you found it helpful. I hope you were able to plan along with me. Thank you so much for watching. I cannot wait to do a 2025 plan with you and to continue doing these plan with me's in the new year, because you have been so lovely in the comments and so encouraging. Thank you so much for enjoying these videos, because I know personally I really need them. It's been really helping me. I know that even if everyone hated it on YouTube, I would still be doing this off camera anyway. So thank you for giving me an excuse to film and post these. But I will see you at the end of the month, or I'll see you next year for the next plan with me. Bye.